welcome back to the channel formerly known as PHT TV that will henceforth be known as Top Shelf Audio. You want to tell us about Top Shelf Audio real quick?
Sure. I'm sorry to confuse everybody, but we were sounding a little more regional than I had hoped. Everybody thinks that we're a local installation company now for some reason. So we're trying to get away from that. We don't do any local installations. All we do is ship all over the nation. So yeah, we're hoping the name change will reiterate the idea that, we do have stuff for sale. We're not just an influencer. And we're definitely not a local installation company. So, but it also represents a different trajectory in the company. So, we've got Perlisten, of course, we'll be doubling down on this, but also we've got Pro Audio now. We just signed up with Focal, just signed up with Kev. We're getting into high-end guitars. We're the only dealer in Kentucky. We've got DW drums. We've got we're trying everything possible to get into the more premium audio space. Hopefully you guys like the new trajectory of the company. Feel free to give us a shout. We ship all over the nation every single day.
It used to be PHT TV, which was Paducah Home Theater TV, and Paducah is in Kentucky, so people were thinking it was more of a local brand.
Yeah, when we first started, it wasn't really an issue. It's just whoever knew the most and could help people the most got the sale. But nowadays, you've got 5,200 integrators acting like they're an e-commerce company, and it's hard to cut through the noise at this point. We're just trying to break through the noise and stand above all the integrators trying to ship stuff everywhere, to be honest.
And what better with the new branding of Top Shelf Audio than to have a top shelf brand like Perlisten here with our brand new R18s subwoofer. We're going to break this guy out of the box for you guys. We're going to do some testing. We're going to check out some movies. We're going to check out some music and see what this thing does, because neither one of us have heard this thing. So. Right.
We've heard it at the shows, but outside of that, hardly anybody has got a lot of experience with it. They did show it at Expona, I believe, maybe one or two others. But we're kind of limited on what exactly we can do in the shows. So we're hoping to really unleash it here. And just as a side note, we're really excited about this particular sub. These are 18s, the most popular subwoofer size that rules the roost in a home theater world is the 18s at this point. So sealed 18, multiple sealed 18s, really where you want to be. That's really the only way that you can get enough surface area to really pressurize the room to the point where you can pull off infrasonics. So infrasonics is good for, horror movies, giving you that anxiety, giving you that, you can't really hear anything, but, hairs on the back of your neck, standing up, type of stuff. But also, there's tons of movies that have, think about Black Hawk Down. We're talking 6 hertz. It just shakes the whole room. There's stuff. The Hulk. When Hulk smashes stuff, there's a material that goes down to 2 hertz. Really, multiple 18s is the best way to get those effects into your room. So this represents a really good price point for what you're getting, especially if you're going to get multiples of these. Very excited to see Perlisten release this new line. It's just much more affordable. I mean, if you think about it, by the time you get multiples of the D215S, I mean, that's a crazy amount of money, and you still don't have enough surface area with what you can do with these. So very excited, should be very popular. And as a side note, we've got the only ones that are available right now. So we've got,
to your doorstep right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, everybody acts like they're shipping. They're not, because we have them all. So we've got at least 6, maybe 7 ready to go as of this showing.
So let's go ahead and get this guy out of the box, and we'll get to listen, demo, and see what it's all about. Well, I always say, like with a knife, especially like with a longer blade, always extra careful with just the tip.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
So your unboxing videos are always funny. I feel like you were Crocodile Dundee. That's not a knife. Like, I'm cool with my little utility knife. You always whip out these monstrosities. So is it my turn?
Yeah, your turn. No, that's just what I always have in my pocket is one of those, so that's what we get. All right, so as you guys can see, when we unbox this guy, the feet are on the bottom. So it's perfectly designed where you can kind of shift it out of the way, roll it over, and it'll be right side up. So you guys see these little holes there? Oh, let's turn this way for a second. Take a look at what it comes with. It does come with your product manual, which, all right, actually this is just you download your manual. You've got a QR code, and if you guys want, you can actually take a look at that on screen right now. Scan that QR code and you can take a look at the manual. But most importantly, it comes with our gloves so we can be extra careful and not to leave fingerprints everywhere.
I have greasy paws. I'm happy to see those things.
Then you have your European power cord and your US power cord. So we're just gonna put all that back for now. Do you wanna wear the gloves?
Oh, sure.
I've got an extra set around here somewhere.
Let the greasy guy wear them.
We're gonna tuck this to the side. It looks like this is going to be our front. So when we roll, we'll turn this way, and then I'm gonna pull back this direction. And there's our feet on the bottom, so we can roll it forward. All right, so here we have the R18s. I'm gonna pop off camera 2 here, and we will get a closer look at this guy. All right, here is the R18s. Here is our backside here. All right, so on the backside, we do have our service port. We have our input and output as far as balanced and unbalanced. Then a power adapter and our on-off switch. So pretty basic on the backside, but I do like that they still include the balanced and unbalanced options there. All right, let's go ahead and run a power cord to it. Now, I don't think this is gonna be the placement we're gonna use when we do our testing, but I do wanna power it up because I really like the display units they have on the top here. Now this is a fully touchscreen, so you can do everything through this display, but I think we are gonna download the app because it's gonna be a little bit simpler of a setup. For quick adjustments, on the fly adjustments, if you're just in the room or something like that, you may wanna use this display and the touchscreen display to go through your audio menu and your master levels, trims, EQ. You can go through a basic setup. You can run a test tone through here. Let's do a 40 hertz test tone. All right, now it works. So we are gonna unplug it, we're gonna reposition it, we're gonna get it all set up with the home theater setup, and we're gonna see what this thing can really do. So we're gonna power it down. We'll see you guys in just a minute.
To be honest, I almost forgot how fun home theater could be for a second. Maybe a minute or two.
Yeah, you get out here and like when you're demoing this stuff, it's...
A lot of those, you know, rocket hits and things like that. It's just so percussive. Just listen to the dynamics of just, it'd be fairly quiet and then just boom, just out of the clear blue, it hits you in the solar plexus type of stuff. It's just so much fun. But yeah, watching it and pretending you're in the video game is just, it's just so immersive. It wasn't just the crashes and the, you know, a lot of that, a lot of the stuff where stuff's running into whatever. I mean, that's 35 hertz, but some of the information where you see, you know, that truck on the road, I mean, that was some low stuff. It sounded like a lot more than just 118 in this room. I think you got a lot of cabin gain, but I mean, 2 or more would help with the real low stuff. But even one of these, I'm just kind of flabbergasted, to be honest.
I like the sound of the magnet picking them up. There was a scene where the magnet was picking up the cars.
Well, the Atmos effects on that, what you're talking about is, because it feels like it's just raising it up and then it just drops it. It's just...
You feel it drop right on top of you.
So intense. Yeah, it's so much fun.
I think it does great for music too. It's definitely filling in the room. It definitely seems to fill in the soundstage quite a bit. It's not the largest room, but we do have it set up for a large room, so it's gonna dig to, I think it said 14 or something like that, or 16. So yeah, switching, I like the ability through there to be able to turn it up and down. He's going through the app on the Perlisten to basically turn on and off the subwoofer so we can see where it's blending in. And even with the musical listening, it felt like, again, I keep saying soundstage, but like the depth of this sub versus your sub and the soundstage of the sub specifically. Whereas you don't really have soundstage in a lot of subs, but it felt like with the tightness of it, it was...
Oh, it just filled the whole room.
Yeah.
Especially, well, the, not just the Think song, but that Flight of the Cosmic Hippo, show that song off. And to be honest, the cornwalls can hold their own on that song, especially when you put it in a small room and you got some cabin game. But man, you put that subwoofer with it and it just unleashes a whole new level, especially... about a minute into the song, he gets some really, really low notes in there, and but it's growly too. The cool thing about bass guitar is you got a lot of information on like the second harmonic, and it's not just your root note. You know, the lowest a 5-string bass can go is like 29 hertz. That's the lowest you're gonna ever hear, like on a bass, but you know, all the magic comes in on, you know, the upper harmonics. But the cool thing about bass guitar is that it can literally play almost 100% of the entire audible spectrum. So standard tuning on a 5-string bass can go anywhere from 29 hertz, but on if you slap the strings, you're getting information well above 10 kilohertz, but you're getting everything in between too. And you know, if you neglect the mid bass and the mid range, you know, if everything's not time aligned, it's going to sound mushy no matter how good your subwoofer is. I mean, it's all about integration. So you can get the best subwoofer in the world, and if you just throw it in the room and hope for the best, and you know, it may not sound all that great. So integration and measurements, I mean, that's definitely going to be important. So.
That might be a good transition to did you want to try some of the REW stuff on this?
Yeah, especially I want to send it some sine waves and see if we can blow it up. So. Okay. All right, we're going to start with like 20 and see what it does. Oh my goodness. Good Lord, we're going to blow the room up. All right, we're gonna just drop it down to 15.
That's 15?
That's 15. How low can you go? Let's try 10, ready? One more, here's 5.
Okay.
All right, we're going to try to blow this thing up. We're going to do a 50 hertz to 2 hertz sweep. And you probably hear a bunch of rattle because this thing is about to shake Jason's studio apart. All right, ready? Here we go. So you probably can't see it, but if you watch your screen's just kind of shaking like real bad.
We did some movie tests, we did some music tests, we did some just signal tests, sending signal to it. We didn't really tell them much about specs and much about the sub, so let's cut and I'm gonna do a full rundown on everything about this sub, so check this out. All right, so I'm just gonna go down the line here with the specs on the website. First off, what is powering this monster? Well, we have a 1000 watt RMS plate amp providing that enormous oomph that we've been experiencing thus far in this video. Next, let's talk about this little screen up top. It's a 2.4 inch touchscreen, and it allows you to kind of make some adjustments on the fly as needed. It's also important to note here that it is right up top, which means you don't have to fumble around in the dark searching for knobs on the back or pull it out to gain access to these controls. Furthermore, we also have an app available to make those adjustments right from your seat. As far as the processor and DSP, I am not going to pretend to fully understand the technological aspects of these enough to discuss them at length. That said, for those of you guys that want to do some further digging, I'll read them off for you here to give you kind of a starting point. The processor is a 32-bit ARM Cortex-M4, and the DSP is a TI DSP with 48-bit data paths. I do wish that I could tell you more about this, but I am an audio enthusiast, but definitely not an engineer of any kind, so some of this does go a little bit over my head. Now, as for the driver, we do have a 460mm driver, which converts to about 18.1 inches for those counting. Glass fiber diaphragm with plus or minus 23.7 linear excursion, which is just under an inch. We're also showing 95 dB sensitivity, and your low frequencies dip down to about 16 Hertz at a large room EQ setting. Now, we went over the inputs and outputs earlier, but to touch on them again, let's pull up the shot of the back of the sub here and show you guys our balanced XLR in and out and our unbalanced RCA in and out. We do also have a 10-band parametric EQ with 3 user presets, low-pass filter, and phase adjustments. We have a 12-volt trigger available, as well as an auto-on feature that'll kick on whenever it senses a signal. And our dimensions are going to be 618 by 570 by 575 millimeters, which will translate to 24.3 by 22.4 by 22.6 inches, and an overall weight of 57.3 kilograms or 126 pounds. All right, so that was basically everything you could possibly want to know about the sub, but we did have a special request come through. Corey's been posting pictures on Facebook as we go along here on the subwoofer, and we had a request to do a banana for scale.
We did, and just for you guys, these things look ginormous when you box them up, so somebody was trying to figure out, are they really that big? Yes, they are, but I always tell everybody that when you get these big speakers, these big subwoofers into your house, they lose weight real quick. So they look ginormous when you get them in, and then a week later, somehow they lose weight. They don't look as big. So you get used to them real quick. Of course, everybody hears about the wife acceptance factor. They're just extremely vocal about that first impression. So the thing to do is just to say, honey, I just need 2 weeks, and then we'll decide. Just buy them, put them in your house. She'll get used to them. Yeah. So.
And you could be like the one of 7 people in the United States that could have these, because there's only like 7 available and Corey has them all. Yeah,
there was a few got drop shipped at first, but yeah, we're sitting on like 7 of them, so give us a call. I will say, I mean, we love Perlisten. We love the guys behind Perlisten. We've been with Perlisten since almost day one. We're one of their oldest dealers. So, and we do try to stock the stuff. Everybody else is trying to drop ship. And, there's crazy weights. We're trying to do things a little different. We're trying to actually have them on hand. So we've got a big warehouse, Paducah, Kentucky. So give us a call, and hopefully we can help you out, and you won't have to wait like you will everywhere else. So
as long as you call quick, because you're gonna sell out of these things.
These are gonna be gone pretty quick. So the guys behind Perlisten, a lot of people don't understand. Perlisten is a pretty new company, but the guys behind it are not. So Lars used to own like half of MMK. Eric, I mean, he's a legend. Dan is probably the top consultant anywhere. So, some of the guys met in M&K. They've been around high-end subwoofers for longer than a lot of you guys have been alive. So just legends in the industry. The guys behind Perlisten, they don't like to toot their own horn. They don't like to, brag about their experiences. They like for the product to speak for themselves. And I think you're seeing that. Perlisten is probably the hottest subwoofers on the market right now. And these are about to blow up, in my opinion. So anyways, the coolest thing about this particular subwoofer is that, I mean, it can do everything. It can do home theater, it can do infrasonics, but it's still got the finesse, it's still got the upper transparency, still got that super tight, what people call fast aspects that will help for music. I hate that term, that's why I use that quote, but Yeah, it's just super inert, super quick, super accurate. And that's what you're buying. So, anyways,
and the fit and finish too. The fit and
course,
finish, because it's that
gorgeous.
wife acceptance factor you're talking about. Like like you said, it disappears into the room once you get it in there. Once you get it in place, it fits really nicely into any environment with the black finish, especially.
And it's hard to it's hard to communicate this on camera without looking fake, but you guys would be really shocked what one of these can do in a room this size. I was really surprised. If you got two of them, I mean, it would be game over. Two of them would satisfy pretty much almost everybody. I mean, of course, 4 would be icing on the cake. I mean, you would hit single digits at reference level at that point. But for most sane listening, I mean, 2 or even 1 is really all you need. It's just really, really surprising.
Yeah, and with people considering buying 2 of them, you're gonna sell out even quicker, being the only ones in the market.
I got enough for 3 people. So.
3 people to buy 2 and 1 person to buy 1. Just all right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the latest episode of the channel formerly known as PHT TV, now Top Shelf Audio. Give Corey a call. Get your brand new Perlisten subwoofer today.
Sure, and don't forget about the new website, topshelfaudio.com.
Can you order straight off the website?
Oh, of course.
So you can just jump on the website and order, pull the trigger right now?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you again soon for the next episode of Top Shelf Audio.
It sounds weird, doesn't it?
I'm used to saying TV afterwards.
I know. Well, it's PhD TV. Like,
Top Shelf Audio TV doesn't sound as
I know,
it's the rhyme at the end of PHT TV that makes it.
I had to do something.
We'll see you again next time for
Thanks,
the next
guys.
episode of Top Shelf Audio.
All right. Bye.